Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Season 3 premiere. It is here. Hello and good morning. It is Sunday morning. If you're listening to us on Blaze, welcome to our new time slot. It is Tuesday, 11:30 to 12:30. Marco Peralta joining us now as well as he makes it on. And we're all here. We're all ready to go and excited for a great show today and the kickoff of Season 3. How are you guys doing? I mean, this is it's season 3, the season 3 premiere. We've already been here for over a year together. I mean, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, it's been, I think Ryan summed it up. It's been one crazy year. We've had so much fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. And I think it's only fitting that today I'm wearing this shirt there we go. The Mr. Suspended. Mr. Suspended. I'm wearing it because I'll probably never wear it again. And this is the only time that it'll ever be fitting. So just bought this shirt a month ago, and now it's already, unfortunately, not necessary. So thank you, everybody, for coming on out and joining us today on this fine Sunday morning. We have a great... What'd you say, Marco? Your mic was like weird.
Oh, did the Robinson Cano shirt come with PEDs in the package?
No, those are supposed to come next week.
Or the biogenesis trial.
There you go. I like that. See, I like that. We're getting the jokes in early on here in season 3. So for today's show, we are going to be we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things, but we're going to focus on the new logo reveal. We have 2 logos today. We said last week that we were all going to give one, but we only have 2 today that we're going to be voting on. But this is going to be a brand new season. We're stoked to be bringing you yet another action-packed season of running the bases. Season 3 is going to be just the 2020 to 21 off-season. Will end before the beginning of the 2021 season. Our last show should be the weekend before opening day. And we're obviously going to be taking care of that. So here's what's new for this season. We're going to have 3 new main things that are going to be taking place in the season. The first of them is breaking news. When a major free agent signs, we will be covering that live or as soon as we possibly can, as obviously we don't know when we'll be free or when I'll be free, rather, because I'm the one who starts the shows. So it's really going to depend on who's around when we do that. But whenever someone major signs, we're going to give you breaking coverage of it. We won't be discussing these signings in the weekly show. So if you want to see us talk about them in depth, you can check that out. Obviously, we'll be naming who signed during the week. So like this week, we have Yasmani Tomas who signed. And we also had Drew Smiley who signed in the week. So we had, 2 signings, but we'll cover those more obviously in more of a an orderly fashion and in future shows when we get more signings and we actually have breaking news shows to have. And I'm expecting to have a lot of them this offseason. We're going to have a lot of great signings. So then the next thing that we're going to have is the new logo that's going to be debuted this season. We're going to have a new logo every season. We're going to vote on those in a few minutes. Me and Ryan both made 2 logos, and that's going to be we both made 1 for a total of 2. But then the final thing is that every co-host, Marco, Ryan, and Nick, are now going to have a segment. We will do 1 segment a show. And today, Nick is going to be doing the very first segment, as he is going to be doing his new segment called Nick Knock. We're going to talk more a little bit about that later on. We're going to give about 5 or so minutes at the end of the show for Nick's segment. And every segment, we're going to have about that amount of time as well. So today, we're going to start it off by voting on the new logo for Season 3 and then chatting about the off-season needs for every team. And then we're going to have the Nick Knock segment at the end of it. So starting it off, we've got the new logo voting. So me and Ryan have made logos for today's show. I'm the only one who's seen both of them. So I will be putting them on the screen for us to vote on. We will not be allowed to vote on our own. So when we're voting, we'll do it like we have for the past voting shows with a score of 1 to 10. So who do you guys want to do first? Do you want to see mine or do you want to see Ryan's first? Ryan? Okay, well, Ryan wanted me. Marco wants Ryan. I was thinking Ryan too, but I actually would rather go first and do Ryan's second.
Save the best for last. That's really how it goes.
I was planning on saving Ryan's for second here. So we will do this. We're going to share the screen here.
And why do you ask us who we want?
Well,
Why
because
you
I
ask
wanted
that's
to.
what we want. This
Because,
show
bro,
is so man, you're dictatorship, bro.
Well, because I didn't get Marco, you were the only one who gave me a preference. Okay, that's all. So we're gonna start off. This is my logo, as you can see here. Do you guys see that? Yeah, I can't see you guys, so you have to give me a yes or no because I can't.
Yes, I do see it.
You
Looks
do.
cool.
So
That
this
looks
is
cool.
Felipe
Yeah,
Alou,
we do see.
a member of the Oakland Athletics, and I've got it with the little. I've got the little snow around it to signify that it's the winter season. But I just thought that it was. I'll let you guys look at it, take it in, and then I'll let you guys vote afterwards, and then we'll get into Ryan. So, have you guys seen enough to the point where I can take it off the screen? Or actually, wait a minute. I can leave it on the screen. If I leave it on the screen, it stays there and I can see you guys, and then we can vote on it from here. See, I'm already advancing this season. We're getting so much better. So for Ryan, what are you?
Technology skills are just out the window right now. They're terrific.
What'd you
I'm
say?
proud of you.
Huh?
Your technological skills are not subpar anymore. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I mean, look at us. We're all aligned down here. I think we have to do this more. This is great. I didn't know that you can share the screen and show you can select a screen to share. So, all right. So let's give voting. We'll do Nick, Marco, and then Ryan. So Nick, what do you give what do you give my logo on a score of 1 to 10? You can do halves. And be as brutal as you want. If you don't like it, give it a 2. I don't really care.
Nah, I like it. I give it an 8.5.
Okay, Marco.
Before I say the score, I love how I'm seeing Ryan and I'm going like this. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, how are you down there?
Hi, Granddad.
Hey, grandson, how you doing?
That's gonna be a theme.
I like it. I like it. I think something I could have changed on it. I suck at Photoshop. I'll tell you that from the get-go. Maybe like the running the bases, like give it a little bit of a shadow and make the letters a little bit wider that stand out a little bit more.
Marco, I can't go back and edit this. So
I know. You said you want my honest
you're giving
opinion.
the professional feedback. Yeah. Go ahead.
You said you want my honest opinion, right?
Yes,
So I'm just saying, like maybe the running the bases a little bit more wider, not crazy white, a little bit more wider, so it stands out a lot more, and give it like a little bit of shadow. I think that would stand out a lot. But I like it. I like it. So I give it a 9.
All right, Ryan, what do you give it?
A 2.5, just because I want to win.
Okay, well that's not fair. So
I'm kidding. It looks good. I'll give you an 8.
Okay, cool. So my logo gets a 25.5. Almost put it in Ryan's. So we'll stop the sharing really quick, and then I will get Ryan's pulled up here.
Very busy. The busier, the better.
The busier, the better. I like that. That's a good attitude.
Well,
so
they're waiting for you to pull it up, Ryan and Nick. How's it feel to be back home?
Last night I got in at like midnight, and this was the longest it had been since I'd seen my parents. And both my parents started crying, so that was
wow.
like, oh God. And then my twin was in the front seat of the car sleeping, so I just opened the car door and slapped him and said, "Hey, buddy, I'm back."
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
But our house is a mess because it's just a mess because we're having a lot of work done, and the contractor broke his ankle, so he can't for a few months. So our house is a mess. My parents' bathroom just looks like Hurricane Katrina went right through it.
Oof.
When are you gonna visit your grandpa, little buck? I haven't seen you since March.
That's true. That's true.
In a couple weeks.
My back is killing me. I need someone to put some Bengay on it, please. I need some help. I could barely sit up right now.
All right, so we got Ryan's logo here. This is Ryan's logo. We'll put it up on the screen for you. He has the Paul Goldschmidt as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's got the running the bases around and then emphasizing that it's season 3. I actually really like this logo a lot. This is personally, I like it. I'm not going to say I like it better than mine, but I don't care either way. But I'm going to actually give it a 9. I think it's a good logo. And the way you can see on the outside, you've got the little fade away for it. I think it's cool. But Nick, what do you give it?
Yeah, I was going to give it a 9.
All right, Marco.
Looks awesome.
I like it. Do you want the feedback, Ryan, or do you just want to score?
I don't care. Whichever one's easiest for you, Marco.
Okay. The SZN3 is what bothers me. You see that orange rectangle in the back?
Yeah, that was.
Put the emphasis around it. I don't know why it turned out orange though. I meant for it to be red.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think it would have been better. I think it would have been better clear, and also maybe a different font for the season 3. That's what I think. But besides that, I like how you have. It would have been cool. You know how you have the edges on over here on the sides. I'm like pretending to touch the logo on my screen. This is ridiculous.
Like over here, see that?
Yeah. So like right here on the left, on the right, you have that little like design. If you could figure out how to give it like a all around the edge as a circle, that would be sick.
Well, yeah, he sent it to me as a square, but I think he forgot that it has to be a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one thing. I had to crop it this way into the circle so that it would show what it would look like as an actual logo.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right. And maybe bring down a little bit more Paul Goldschmidt because we've seen like just his nose and his ear. So kind of bring him down a little bit. And I think it should be good. So I'll give this one an 8.
All right. So that means officially that by half a point, your winner, and with the newest logo of season 3.
Right now it's an 8.5 then. 8.5.
By a half point for season 3 is Ryan. He won anyway with a 26.
Oh, really? He won?
Yes, he won by a half point. Now, I had 25.5. He had 26. So he beat me by a half point. That's really funny.
26.5. I was like, oh, wow.
You're like, no.
That's why I said 8.5. I thought I was like, it's going to be a tie now. But they're right.
Both are great logos. Both are great.
Yeah, they're both solid.
Like
Ryan sent me this morning. I was like, "Woo, this is a good one. I like it." Ryan, we're gonna have a good contest every season, and then if Nick and Marco decide to throw some in too, but it seems like Ryan and I are gonna have, because look, I love making logos. I'll make a logo and not have it up as any whenever, because I enjoy having different logos up there. So. Congratulations, Ryan. Officially the newest logo for season 3. I'll make sure to get that up after the show today so that you guys
my grandson. Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Speaking in life.
Yes, you are. You are officially, your logo is officially the newest logo for the Running the Bases podcast. I think that's a lot of fun. It's good. So every team
sells $5 today.
Hey, he's got to earn that $5 in the offseason predictions. He's got to win it. It's not won yet. It ain't over till it's over. So we've got the offseason needs for every team. This is going to be a basic segment. We're just going to be listing out what every team is going to need this offseason. If you want to talk about some players that they could be looking for, that's fine. But this is basically setting the groundwork for what every team needs to look at. And I think it's a good way to filter us in, because the next 2 shows are going to be really cool with a lot of different stuff. We're going to be reviewing teams, their players, a lot of things until the first of the year. I've already got it all planned out. Until the very first show of 2021, every show until then, we'll be recapping things that are 2020 baseball related. We'll be looking at teams, giving them scores, ranking them, what they need to look forward to, a bunch of that kind of stuff. And then once we get into 2021, those 3 months leading up to opening day, and even after that, we're going to be having a lot of up until opening day, because that's season 3, we are going to just be doing a bunch of cool content like teams, the 30-point drafts, things like that, having cool shows in there. And we've got a lot lined up. If you guys could see, you viewers could see the list of things that we have ready to go, we are going to have an incredible list that we are going to be running through, and a bunch of different shows that we're going to tackle. So we'll start it off simple this offseason with every team's offseason needs. Now, we're going to just kick it off. Well, how do we want to go about this? Because there's a bunch of different ways we can. We can do each one of us gets a team and we just talk about it a little bit, because my goal is with 52 minutes live 52 up there in the corner, we go to Nick's segment. So we want to make sure that we pace ourselves right. So what's the consensus? What do we want to do with this?
Each division, each one of us gets a team and we just talk about them.
Okay. I like that. That's fair. And then we'll just how do we want to decide the last team? Do we just all whoever does the fourth team, which would be Marco, whoever does the fourth team, you can just read the last. That's fine. So you get a little reward for being the last arrival today. Normally the last arrival doesn't get the little extra bonus. So you get the little extra bonus of covering the last team. And then, well, actually it's not divisionally, so never mind. We don't need to do that. We'll just run through it for we'll just go in a row. We don't need to worry about division. We're spending too much time focusing on that. So it'll go me, Nick, Ryan, Marco. We'll kick it off with the Baltimore Orioles. Now, the Orioles are a team that every offseason has always been a confusing team. What are they going to do? Last season, they signed Jose Iglesias, which was interesting because, he was not really a lower level, but he wasn't a higher level player. He was a pretty good player that I don't think many people thought would go to the Orioles. But the Orioles this offseason are focusing a lot on their lower level veteran starting pitching to try and boost up their younger starters to give them that little veteran presence. And then they're also looking for lower level bullpen. As the Orioles have been doing these last few years, they're not looking for expensive players. They're looking for more of those cheaper guys that are going to get them to that goal of just 162 games of healthy games and see where they end up.
Yeah, so next is the Red Sox, and ever since the team lost Mookie, they've needed a lot more than what this list shows, in my opinion. But the main points what they need: starting pitching, relief pitching, and a second baseman. Obviously, it'll be a while for them to be in contention again. Obviously, this division is run by the Rays, Yankees, and the Blue Jays are upcoming in this division, in my opinion. Orioles and Red Sox are the lower tier, so these two teams will take a while. But as of right now, they could use some starting pitching, some bullpen help, and a second baseman to help them even get to at least 50 wins this season.
Yeah, next up is going to be the Yankees, and it's really starting pitching. They have 80% of that rotation that actually is looking pretty solid. They got Garrett Cole, Luis Severino's ready to come back, Jordan Montgomery, Davy Garcia, and then Domingo Germán. One of those guys, of Garcia or Germán, will take that fourth or fifth spot, or they could move Montgomery to the bullpen. So they need to get some help in either the rotation or bullpen, and definitely they're going to look to bring back Tanaka. Tanaka is one of those guys that you just can't imagine not being in a Yankee uniform. So I expect them to get Tanaka and look to add to the bullpen a little bit because that's really what they need. Also, I think they might be in the market for a shortstop.
It's okay. The mute button of 2020.
No, you're good. So next we have the Blue Jays, and I think just like basically what some of these teams need in the AL East is basically starting pitching. The Blue Jays, they have a big signing that they had, Hyun-Jin Ryu, and he's been great for them. But they need some more depth in the rotation. They've been able to add Chase Anderson and Tanner Roker. But I think they just need some more depth in the back end of their rotation that would help them kind of get I won't say an advantage, but try to catch up to the other teams in the AL East. And I think another one is I don't say like it's like the biggest one, but maybe like third base, because the option for them last year was Travis Shaw. He was a premier option for them at third base, but he hit 239. Not really good numbers, an OPS of 717. So not the best, but they could be better. And who knows if Vladdy is finally going to be the everyday third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. So I think they're going to try to add to their starting rotation to help them get a rhythm going and try to catch up with the other teams.
And then the next team here is the White Sox. And just one thing before we do move forward is I want us to all talk about our teams individually because you don't really get a chance to do that. So we can spend a little more time on our teams. So what we're going to do, because the Tigers and Royals are going to be coming up, Nick, you would be in line next. But what I'm just going to do is, Marco, you'll go next and do the Indians. And then we'll just go Nick, Ryan, and then flip back to me.
Did anyone talk about the Rays?
Huh?
Anyone talk about the Rays?
Yeah, I think you were. Wait, hold on.
I was the Yankees.
Marco was supposed to do the Rays. I'll do the Blue Jays or the Rays. I'll do the Rays.
I did it.
So, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that because I got confused. So
you
never mind.
make me more prouder, son.
You can. I got confused. Okay, so then hold on. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with the rest. So it's supposed to be White Sox, Indians, Tigers. So then we'll just go when we get to your individual team. We'll just keep rolling. When we get to your individual team, you'll take over and do that, and we'll just keep in line the way we were. If it gets confusing, we'll iron it out. So the Rays, the defending American League champions, are a heavyweight team with a very low-level payroll, but they have managed to make it through. Now, this is a team that's on the forefront of the American League East, as Nick said, and it's important for them to stay there. They don't have the money to do so, so how are they going to do that? Well, they're focusing on starting pitching this offseason. A lot of people are potentially saying that Charlie Morton's going to go back to the Rays, and if he doesn't, what are they going to fill that spot with? Because Morton really was a big part of that bullpen. They also were looking for a lefty reliever. They might be losing Aaron Loop this offseason, and Aaron Loop was someone who was a big part of their bullpen. In the postseason, we saw him get a lot of those lefty innings that you would normally see from other guys. And then they're also going to be looking for a cheaper catcher. Obviously, with really most things the Rays do, they're going to be looking for a cheaper option because they don't have the ability to spend all that money. Mike Zunino might be asking for too much for them. We'll see what they opt to do. I mean, they don't really have many options out there that are going to be super cheap. You could always see them maybe signing a Wellington Castillo or something, or whoever they choose to go with to play in that catcher role. But it's going to be tough for the Rays to build a team that's going to be competitive this year with these spots because they have so many good players, but they don't have the money to spend on it. And a lot of the players that they might be looking for are also going to be targeted elsewhere, and they might just get outbid. So that's the Rays. And then Nick, you'll kick it off with the White Sox.
Yeah. So obviously, we saw what the White Sox did last year. Obviously, having an MVP and Jose Abreu, you can kind of see where that team's heading. Obviously, they lost that division late in the season, which was, I think, due to their pitching. I don't think their starting rotation to me is very, very average in a sense. You know, they have a couple starters, and then the back half of their rotation, in my opinion, is a little below average. But I think this offseason, if they look to get some starting pitching that could really help their team, obviously they need a closer to right fielder and a backup catcher to James McCann, obviously. So this team right now is looking good, but I think for them to take the next step, they need to add more starting pitching. A 4-5 guy would really help their team, and some good more bullpen depth. And that's, like we said earlier, a backup catcher and a right fielder. So this team can stay in AL Central contention for years to come, but right now they're just looking a little underwhelming.
And now we have the Cleveland Indians. It's obvious for them. They need an outfield bat. They are probably going to move Josh Naylor from right field, mainly where he's been at, or he can play DH. He's probably going to be moved to first base with Carlos Santana's option being declined. So that opens up a spot. Plus, they just need help in general. And I said that you could see a guy like Yoenis Cespedes could go there, but you could see a reunion with Yasiel Puig going back there. He would be good for them because they need an outfield bat with some pop and a good fielder. So they've got to address the corner outfield position.
Absolutely. And then, Nick, we go back to you because your good old Tigers are up next.
Yeah, I mean, this list is very nice because we could use a lot more than what this list shows. But obviously for us, you know, we're a rebuilding team. We have been for the past couple of years now. And so most of our guys are prospects, and it actually was announced the other day that a couple of guys like Casey Myers, Matt Manning, guys like that are finally joining the roster, which I was very excited about. But like I said earlier, most of our prospects, most of our hitters are still prospects. Like we saw, like Will Castro last year was amazing. You know, we still have Torkelson waiting for us. You know, we still have guys that we drafted that are still waiting. So as of right now, we definitely need catching. We definitely need some pitching depth because Jordan Zimmerman last year was our number one. That didn't work out at all. A corner outfielder would be awesome too. You know, Nico Goodrum was probably our best outfielder last year, which was really nice. But we probably are going to lose Jonathan Scope in free agency, which would really hurt. And we're also probably going to lose CJ Cron, he's probably definitely our best power hitter last year, which is obviously going to hurt us too. So this list is very nice, but for us to even get scratch 40 wins this year will be amazing. So we could use a lot more than what this list shows, in my opinion.
Man, a 40. Could you imagine the Tigers not getting 40 wins? That would be really.
I mean, I can definitely. I mean, at this point, we're just trying to load up this draft picks, in my opinion.
So, Nick, you want to make another bet for next year?
No, not yet. We'll do that. We'll do that after free agent.
I mean, we compare our rosters, and I can do that.
Yeah.
So, honestly, for once, I'm going to not say the Royals need pitching, and it's a shocker because I've always said it. Could they use some bullpen help? Yeah. The rotation is pretty set, and you know what? I'm happy with that. But the bullpen could use a little bit of help. The main thing is outfield. Because the issue is the man who's slated to start in left field, Bubba Starling, hit his on-base percentage last year was .219. Not his average, his on-base percentage. Can someone explain to me how someone does that? So
they don't get on base.
Thanks, Nostradamus.
Yes.
So that's why I said Jackie Bradley. Someone, just because they need help. There's no.
How excited would you be if the Royals signed Jackie Bradley Jr.?
Oh, I'd probably buy his jersey. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'd probably buy his jersey.
That's not a probably. It's you will buy his jersey. That's not a problem.
For me getting a DH Geek version, because as a struggling college student, we have to scrap money together, you know.
Struggling
pet money. Yeah, what?
Hey, don't go attack.
Hey, we're not starting season 3 like this.
Hey, respect your elders, boy.
But no, I expect the Royals to go get a outfielder because they need help. But outside of Jackie Bradley, they could look to grab a guy like Jurickson Profar, who was moved to left field with the Padres last year, or like a Cameron Maben. So I'm not going to complain if I just need them to either bring up one of the good young prospects in left field to give them a shot, or it's time for one. Preferably, give me Jackie Bradley.
Yes.
All right, now we have the Cursed Twins of Minnesota, and man, these guys, they need so much help when it comes to pitching, starting, and relief pitching, because Jake Odorizzi, and Rich Hill, they're all free agents now, and obviously Rich Hill is super, super old now. So they leave two vacancies that need to be filled by reliable veterans in the rotation, And though Randy Dobnak, he should be a really good mid to end of rotation pitcher, but like young starters like Devin Smeltzer and Lewis Thorpe both have had ineffective years. So maybe one big consideration here is like the top prospects of Joanne Duran and Jordan Balazovic. There you go, Balazovic. So I think those can be something, but you want to have some veteran pitching to help those type of prospects. And then also in their relief pitching, bro, Trevor May, Tyler Clippard, and Sergio Romo were their biggest 3 pitchers in their relief in the bullpen. And all their contracts expired. Like they declined Sergio Romo's option. All 3 of them expired. So they got to help out their bullpen. And they're continuing the development of Jorge Alcala, and Edward Colina, and Cody Stashak. Those are the 3 names I remember. So they can help to some extent, but so they still need more veteran pitching. There you go. You need veteran pitching on both ends at the starting rotation and in the bullpen. So definitely a lot of help they need in their pitching wise.
So, it's funny because when you say all those young players, the prospects, I have, because I'm in 2029 and MLB The Show, Jordan Balazovic is the ace of the Phillies. Cody Stashak's in my bullpen, and he's a legend. Like, it's really funny because you say these names, and I know who they are.
Dude, so, you're 2021. Do you sim the
2029. Season? I'm in 2029.
I mean, 2029, excuse me. Do you sim the seasons?
I simmed like 20. I don't play the whole games. Like I would play like the first inning. I kind of simmed through through 2026, and I've been player locking every game since 2027. So I've actually been playing every game a little bit, I guess you could say.
All right. This is a quick question for all three of us besides Michael. Nick, Ryan, since Michael just said that he player locks every single game, who is that player?
Oh, I do a random player generator.
P.D. Alonso.
He is a random player. I'm gonna go Jeff McNeil, but
or Michael Conforto.
Hey,
actually, hold on. He has talked to me about one certain one.
There you go. My boy Nick Prado. Yes, he's a legend. But actually, Michael Conforto left the team in like 2022, and I traded Jeff McNeil like 3 years ago. The only people left on the team, you guys should see the team. You'd laugh at me because I have ignore funds on. So I have Mike Trout, I have Ronald Acuna Jr. I signed Ronald Acuna Jr. though. That was a legit deal. I signed him to a long-term deal, but I actually
you can give him as big as a contract. It doesn't matter because he ignored the funds.
That's true. But Pete Alonso is actually, I don't play. Like I said, I do a random number generator and I pick the player that is. And Pete Alonso is always in my 3 spot. And I don't always get him, but Alonso's actually, he's up to 500 home runs in 2029 in his career. He has turned out to be a beast. Like he'll hit 330 every year. And like I said, I don't use him all the time. So he's just naturally progressed. But it depends. But if you guys were to see my team, you'd probably think that I'm insane. But I've got some surprise players on there. JP Crawford's my starting second baseman. It's 9 years from now. Anything can happen. So we'll see. But getting along with this, we hop into the AL West, and I think it's important to get our way to the Houston Astros right over here, as we've got the good old trash can bangers getting ready for 2021. And it's not really going to be Nick thinks that they're going to have an impressive offseason, but I don't think personally that they're going to have a huge one. But regardless, the things that they're looking for, they're looking specifically for some relief depth. They're losing names like Ken Giles and Roberto Osuna this offseason, as well as some others that, are depth-wise. So they're definitely going to be needing that. They also were looking for some outfield. They're potentially losing George Springer. They're most likely losing Jackie Bradley Jr. They've also got Josh Reddick and Michael Brantley on the free agent market, which means that all 4 of their – oh, wait, hold on. Jackie Bradley Jr. is not on the Astros. What am I talking about? He's on the Red Sox. I think he's going to the Astros. So I'm already thinking ahead. So the 3 main outfielders of the Astros in George Springer, Michael Brantley, and Josh Reddick are all free agents right now. So they're going to need to figure that out somehow. No matter what happens, they're going to need to decide what to do there. And they're also going to need a backup catcher behind Martin Maldonado. And this Astros team, if they want to compete next year, they're going to have to focus on re-signing those 3 guys. And if they can't, they have to fill it in some other way, because there's no way they can compete next year without those positions. So that's the Astros.
Next is the Angels, and outside of Trout, Shohei, and Rendon, this is just not a good team. There's not much to say about it. There's just no help. And it's been the story of Mike Trout's career, in my opinion, which is why he'll retire with an amazing WAR for all you analytics people. But I think they're getting it Trevor Bauer. That's just my opinion. So that'll clear up their starting pitching hole. So if they do end up getting him, obviously they need relief help too, shortstop, second base, and a catcher. This team isn't going anywhere, in my opinion, until they address some of these needs, or at least all of these things. I think with Trevor Bauer, they're just a way better team, in my opinion. That rotation gets even more scary. But obviously they also need position players. We didn't have the Angels signing many people in free agency, which sucks, because who wants to go play for a team that's just not. They're not contending. They're a bottom team in this division with the Rangers and Mariners helping them out there. But this team isn't going anywhere. They need to get Mike Trout some help here, but I don't see it happening for this foreseeable future.
The best way I compare them is they're basically the Mets. They're the little brother of their other team. Yes, but they're so used to, the Mets are so used to being the little brother to the Yankees. It's basically what the Angels are. They're the little brother.
The Dodgers, yeah.
And here we go, the Athletics. The main thing with me is since I think they're going to lose Marcus Semien and Tommy La Stella is now a free agent. They got to fix that middle of the infield. And I think they're going to get La Stella back, but they got to go and grab a shortstop or someone who can play second base, whichever one they don't want La Stella at. So they got to heal that area up. The outfield will be fine, I think, despite potentially losing Robbie Grossman. The bullpen will also need some help. Losing guys like Joaquin Story and Liam Hendricks are also going to hurt them. So they're going to have to go and either bring up some guys from minors or go and sign some guys in free agency to help that bullpen. But really, that's what all I see is just healing up the middle of the infield and adding some bullpen help.
We have the amazing Seattle Mariners. So the Seattle Mariners, it's hard to see basically what they need because they have a good future. You know, like they have a really young rotation, they have a really young bullpen. So basically what they need is that they need a veteran pitcher. You know, they need veteran pitching to kind of be an example for the young guys. And for example, 3 rookie relievers that stepped up this season are Joey Gerber, Yohan Ramirez, and Anthony Mezowicz. I think that's how I say his last name. You know, and then you have 3 interesting prospects like Sam Delaplane and Wyatt Mills and Aaron Fletcher, who maybe have an opportunity to make an impact in 2021. But like I said, that leaves room and need for some veteran arms to anchor that group. And we'll see what happens with that. And I think even their starting rotation can have some help as well. They do have a really solid rotation with the return of Marcus Gonzalez. You see Kuchi, I think that's how you say it, Justice Sheffield, Justin Dunn, and Nick Marcivius. There you go.
Don't remind me about Justin Dunn, bro.
So I think they have a really solid young rotation there. They just need some veteran pitching, just someone to kind of be their mentor or their example to follow on how to carry a team later on, you know. So I just think it's just veteran pitching that they need.
That darn Mariners team is going to bother me for a long time because Jared Kelenick's going to be their starting center fielder in a year, and I'm going to be so mad when he becomes the next Mike Trout, and the Mets don't even have him because we traded him for Robinson Cano. And then Justin Dunn is also going to be a stud.
The turntables, Michael.
Hey, Jared Kelenick posted a picture of him in a Mets shirt last week and said where it all began. Maybe he's hinting to Uncle Stevie to bring him on back. I don't know. I can dream.
It hurts sometimes.
Yo, he posted a picture. Oh yeah, he signed him, bro. He signed him, bro. That's game. That's game, bro.
We should give you the World
Series.
Yes, they should. You should. They should. But in all reality, I'm so disappointed with that Mariners team that they're gonna have, you know, Mets farmhands, all the Mets farmhands, Anthony Kay with the Blue Jays, Simeon Woods Richardson with the Blue Jays. They're all gonna be great, and the Mets are just gonna be disappointed that Brody Van Wagenen traded them all away. But fortunately, we have Sandy Alderson back. So we go to the Rangers now, a team that's really, by the long list of wants that they have this offseason, they look like they want to be contending, but they're not going to be able to spend all that money. They're going to probably end up filling these spots with lower level players. So the Rangers, they've got the longest rap sheet out of all of them. They're looking for a corner outfielder, and these are all per MLB, by the way. The MLB has said that the Rangers are looking for these things. Corner outfield, DH, first base, second base, third base, shortstops, their entire infield, and starting pitching. That is 7 different things that they are looking for right now. And corner outfield can technically make it 8 because it's left or right field. So the Rangers are basically looking for anyone. I think we can sum it up to say that the only position that the Rangers aren't looking at is catching and closing. So this team is in flux. This is a team that, I remember back in the middle part of this decade where they were, last decade now, where they were a phenomenal team. They were a force to be reckoned with, and unfortunately, they're just not there anymore. So we'll see what the Rangers do this offseason. But that brings us over to the National League side, and Nick, it brings it up to you.
Wait, hold up. Michael, you done messed up right there, bro.
What did I
just
do?
Do the Rangers. Nick's about to do the Braves.
Yeah, I know. We'll
and when then
we're gonna unfortunately, Marco, we're gonna have to
ship.
We're gonna have to skip you when the Mets come, and then
the Phillies.
Yeah, you'll do the Phillies. There you go.
All right, so the Braves. My opinion, the second best team in the NL. It's not even close. I think it goes Dodgers, Braves, and then really just everybody else. I think getting Soroka back this season will help a lot for the starting pitching. I think what they did this season was really solidify a solid starting rotation with Ian Anderson, guys like that. So I think they're set up well there for starting pitching wise. A power bat, I think if they re-signed Marcell Ozuna, I think that'll clear up that. That was a great 1-year rental deal by the Braves. No one really thought that he would do the things he did on 1 year, but he showed up. My only concern with him is his defense, but we'll see what happens with the universal DH, obviously. And a backup catcher is also what they need. Honestly, this Braves team is in great shape right now heading into the season. I think if they do add a few pieces here and there in free agency, they'll be even scarier. But as of right now, they are the best team in the NL East, and it's not really close in my opinion.
Sorry, I had trouble finding the unmute button for a second.
It's okay, 2020 problems.
I'm up to Miami. Second baseman. Really, that's what it comes down to. Jonathan Villar is a free agent, and that's really what comes down to is that they need to upgrade, not really upgrade as much as fill that hole. And my pick there would be Cesar Hernandez. So that's where I think is that also keep some of those bullpen arms, maybe add a little bit, but mainly get a solidified second baseman.
Seems fair to me. And then that brings me over to the New York Mets. So, well, the Mets have also a pretty long list of things that they're looking for, but primarily they're focusing on starting pitching, center field, catching, and relief pitching. Now, these 4 spots, it's going to be difficult to fill them all in a normal year. Well, let's put it in this way. In a Wilpon year, this would probably be filled with lower level players. Obviously with Steve Cohen, yes, you can fill some of them with top players, but it's going to be very difficult to fill all 4 of these positions with stars. So I think it's more important. Personally, I think the most important part for the Mets is catching, but I don't think they need to spend too much on there. That's why I think that James McCann's the best fit. But I think starting pitching is also something you really have to focus on. I'm tired of seeing it be, Jacob deGrom's up in this series. This is the one win we're going to get. And then, you don't know from there on out. I think it's so important for them to solidify that. And, center field is a nice to have. It's not a need to have. Do I think they're going to upgrade there? Yes, but I don't think they're going to need to do so. I'm perfectly happy with having Brandon Nimmo in the outfield, but because of the Robinson Cano issue, you now have Jeff McNeil at second base, which does open up an outfield spot. So it's more likely that you'll see that happen now. A week ago, maybe not, but look, a lot of things are going to probably happen for the Mets this offseason. Do I think they're going to get – I personally believe that no matter what, I think they sign one of the top 5 free agents. I really think that even though Nick and Ryan disagree, I think that goes without saying that the Mets will sign one of those big guys. Where it comes down to and who they get, we'll see. But the Mets offseason is going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
All right, so next I have the Philadelphia Phillies, and man, oh man, do they need some help. Oh my gosh, this basically is kind of top to bottom that they need. They need a catcher first and foremost because the team surrendered Sixto Sanchez to acquire JT Realmuto. And Realmuto, he's a free agent, and he got the qualifying offer, but I'm pretty sure he's going to decline it. So, they need a catcher bad. They need a catcher bad. But their bullpen, man, was, oh my gosh, ridiculous. And just to give you some names, Jose Alvarez, Tommy Hunter, Brandon Workman, David Phelps, Adam Morgan, Blake Parker, Heath Hembry, and David Robertson, all
sounds
part
like the
of that
Social Security club for me.
They are all free agents. And Sir Anthony Dominguez will probably not pitch until the back end of the season because he went Tommy John surgery back in July. So they need so much bullpen help, man. It's ridiculous. The rotation, they have some really good three pitchers at the top. So maybe a fourth hole or a fourth pitcher, would be better to just help that rotation be a little bit more consistent and be competitive. But the other thing is their shortstop. They declined Didi Gregorius, so who are they going to sign? Can it be Gene Segura, Scotty Kingery? Who knows? Marcus Semien, Alderton Simmons. Who knows? They're all free agents. So we'll have to see. So the biggest thing is their bullpen. They really desperately need a catcher, and they need to see who they're going to fill up at shortstop. So there you go.
There you go. The Phillies, lots of holes to fill. So then we go to the Nationals, 2019 World Champs.
The
Starting
Phillies
pitching
gotta fill up their holes.
They, oh God, the Nationals have starting pitching, outfield, catching, and first base on their docket, and I mean, there's a lot to go on here. They really have a lot of holes. Do I think they're going to fill them all? We will see. But this Nationals team, man, they've got needs, and if they want to keep competing, this NL East is not getting any easier. And the way things look right now, the Nationals are the bottom team in the division, and this is a team that won the World Series last year. So they're going to have to pick it up if they want to be contenders again. So we'll see what happens.
Probably one of the more interesting teams. Obviously, the Chicago Cubs now with our guy Theo stepping down. We don't know what direction this team's going in. We don't know how he's going to handle splitting up that core with Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. But as of right now, they're in need of starting pitching, relief pitching, and bench depth. But honestly, it really comes down to whether I think Chris Bryant's a legit trade candidate this offseason. We'll see how they handle that, and we'll just see how much value Rizzo and Baez have coming up this season.
Oh wait, I thought I was on mute. Wow,
No, you're good.
I'm not very sharp. So, I have the Reds, and what they need is an impact bat. They need someone who's going to be more consistently getting on base, and I think they're going to get that in a guy like Didi Gregorius, who I think they're going to sign to play shortstop. Yeah, he's better than Freddie Galvis, and he doesn't get on base a ton, but I think he gets them more towards that spectrum of getting more guys on base instead of relying on power, and that's key for them. So I think that's where they're going to really do their diligence in free agency, is just getting that type of bat.
Next, I have the Milwaukee Brewers, and for the Brewers, the thing about them is that they need some more run support. First and foremost, first and third base seem to be pretty open. Catcher and shortstop they have question marks. And Christian Yelich and Lorenzo Cain, they're all going to try to find ways to come back because they didn't have a really good season last year, even though it was 60 games. So who knows what happened in the other 102 games? But they need kind of a little bit more run support. For example, the catcher Omar Narvaez, there you go, or Narvaez. This is a Spanish name. I should know this. Come on, dude. And he hit for 176, so that's not really impressive. So they got to have some type of other bat besides Yelich and Cain to give that lineup a little bit more firepower to give those runs to help their team if they really want to be competitive in their division. Without a doubt, they need more runs.
Yeah, that's very true. And then the Pirates, I'm just going to keep it short and simple because the Pirates are a last place team. They're looking for outfield, relief pitching, and a catcher. That's all they've got.
Sorry, give one sec. I was totally unprepared. I didn't think you were gonna go that fast.
Yeah, sorry, I'm sped through them a little quickly. We're on the Cardinals.
Okay, Cardinals. Yeah. So for them, another NL Central contender. They're needing according to this, an outfield bat utility. They're kind of a weird team. We don't know what kind of direction they're trying to go in. Obviously, I said like I said before, they're kind of contending, but wouldn't surprise me if they finally fell out of contention just because they're not winning a World Series anytime soon. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just said we might just blow it up.
I get to start the National League West, and it's going to be the Diamondbacks, and it's relief pitching, really, because they traded Archie Bradley and Andrew Chafin. Junior Guerra was just designated for assignment, and then they still have Hector Rondon, who has an option, but I have no idea what they're going to do about it yet because, well, it depends on if they want to blow it up or not. So what it comes down to is that they need back-end bullpen help. So guys like Blake Trinan, guys like Brandon Kinsler are going to be type of players that they look to add to bolster that bullpen because they got talent in the field. They just need to get more bullpen help, and maybe they got to get an outfielder because they had Starling Marte, but they traded him. So now they got to go out and get an outfielder to really solidify it.
You still want me to do the Rockies?
No, Dodgers.
So two? Both?
No, Dodgers. Just do the Dodgers.
Okay. All right. So for the Dodgers, first and foremost, we need to find who's going to be our third baseman. That's what we got to do, because like we don't know, are we going to resign Justin Turner or not, or we're going to actually make an attempt to get Nolan Arenado. And will I be mad with that move? Not really. It's the best catcher, the best third baseman in baseball. So I wouldn't be mad at it. So I think if they just get Justin Turner in a veteran contract and they put him as a DH, if there's a universal DH, that would be awesome. But hey, you never know what's going to happen. So I think that's their biggest need, is just getting to know who is their third baseman now, who's that power bat at third base. And I think the other need that they need is their bullpen. Because with Blake Trinan maybe on the way out, and for me, he's the next closer for the Dodgers. They need to see what kind of about that is the Kenley Jansen contract. He has one more year left, but that's going to be such a big one to overcome, or try to extend Blake Trinan for him to stay in the Dodgers uniform. So for me, the biggest needs that they need is third base and finding that new closer. Or unless Dave Roberts wants to really trust on Kenley Jansen again and cost you a game in the World Series. But anyways,
I don't think he'll do that. So I'll wrap it up here before we get to Nick Knock. We've got the Rockies, Padres, and Giants. The Rockies are looking for second base, outfield, and bullpen, a team that's still trying to keep themselves up in that NL West. The Padres, another team that's now suddenly in the forefront of the NL West with relief pitching, starting pitching depth, and bench depth. A lot of depth that they're looking for, so you never really know where that's going to go. They might go for lower level, but they also lost Mike Clevenger this week, so you never know. They might be focusing a little more on starting pitching for – you never know, maybe a one-year deal. You could potentially see Charlie Morton deciding to go over there. And then we've got the Giants. They're looking for starting pitching, veteran relief pitching, a left-handed bat, and some catching depth. They already crossed starting pitching off the list by signing Drew Smyly. You never know, they might go for some more. But they're a team that could very easily, make themselves a potential third-place team in that NL West. So we'll see what happens with the Giants. And then we go over to the final segment of today, our very first co-host segment. Nick, we have the Nick Knock segment. I'll explain a little bit of what it's going to be, and then we'll let Nick take it away. So Nick came up with 3 players, and he's going to say some things about them, and we're going to have to try and guess who it is. You may have seen some of these Instagram pages where they put like accolades of a player. You have to guess where they're from or who they are. And that's basically going to be it. An example could be, I have 300 career home runs and 3,000 hits, but yet never won a World Series. Who am I? Things like that. So Nick, I'll let you take it away. This will be our last segment of the show.
All right, guys, this is going to be awesome. So I'm going to have for every time I do this, I'm going to have a theme. So this week's theme is going to be
I
closers.
love that. Yes, he's taking it to the next level. Before you do, I want to make sure that if you have an idea of who it is, just yell it out. Just leave yourselves unmuted. Just yell it out, and whoever gets it right first wins.
So we're thinking of closers right now. Refresh your memories right that. So first guy. Oh yeah, well, close.
Okay.
So first, 348 saves, 2.17 ERA. This guy's a 7-time All-Star, 1-time World Series champ, and Rookie of the Year.
Wait, what was his ERA again?
2.17.
348 career saves.
And no cheating either.
Ooh, I see. I might know it.
Yes, good job. Yes. Yeah.
Dang, that's a good one. I didn't think of that. I didn't know his ERA was that low.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's really low for Craig. Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. I bet his whip is about 1.3, but that's impressive. Good for you, Ryan. That's 1 point to Ryan. If Ryan gets one more point, he wins the segment. So let's see what we got next.
All right, next guy. 172 career saves, 3.3 ERA, 3-time All-Star, 1-time World Series champ, and he played for 2 teams in the same division.
I put my hand up. Jeff Bradley. I said it. Jeff Bradley.
Aroldis Chapman.
No.
Jeff Bradley?
No.
Not Jeff?
No.
What about Aroldis Chapman?
No.
Sergio Romo?
No, but you're
It's not Chapman. Hold on, how many saves?
172.
Oh, that might be low for Chapman. But you said 2 teams in the same division.
Correct.
Red and Cubs.
No,
Chapman.
yeah, I'm so sorry, but like that,
Dude, he said no a million times. It's not a moment. Won a World Series.
Okay. Does the name start with an S?
No.
Okay, well, I was gonna say he can give us a hint in like 10 seconds, but I mean, that's already a hint. Man, won a World Series.
Yeah, then,
guys, did Brian Wilson win a World Series? That's it, Brian Wilson.
Yes.
Damn it!
2 teams in division.
I was so close. You were right.
Oh yes,
I remember that team with Sergio
dude.
Romo. Oh,
Russ Ryan won, but
yeah, but
we still got one more.
Let's do the third one.
Yes. Okay. This guy, 200. I'd be really surprised if you guys got this. 288 career saves, 3.27 ERA, 3-time All-Star, led the league in saves for 3 years, and played for 4 teams and has not won a World Series.
Question.
Yes. He's retired, by the way.
Did this guy may or may not have played for the Tigers?
He did.
Jose Valverde.
Yes.
I knew you were going to do it. I've been waiting. When you started this segment, I wanted to guess Jose Valverde right away. That's why I knew the second Ryan that you asked that question, I had to blurt it out because I knew that it was.
No, Michael, that was going to be my guess was Jose Valverde.
I knew it because I knew you were going to throw him in, and the only reason I remember him is because he was.
This guy played for the Tigers. I was like, it's Valverde.
He played for the Mets and was awful.
Yeah.
He was terrible with the Mets. Oh man, I remember.
You know who else was bad with the Mets?
Frank Francisco, who sat on a beach for a year while being injured.
Diaz.
Hey, he had a great year this year. He's on the ballot for all MLB teams. So I really like that, Nick. I really like the way you went with that. That was an incredible start. I don't remember. Hold on. I need to pull it up. We need to know the right order. Okay. Ryan goes next week with the fill in the blank, and then Marco Polo is in 2 weeks from now. So if you want to hear all of our segments, which are going to be really, really cool, as we can tell by this, make sure you tune on in. Next week, we have another good show ahead of us. For next week's show, we are going to be covering the best player at each position on both leagues. We're all of us going to pick one player per position, and we're going to do that. So if you want to see that, you better be here next week. And if you want to see Ryan's segment, you also better be here next week. So make sure you come on out. Same time, same day, same place. We'll all be here. Thank you for tuning on in to the Season 3 premiere of the Running the Bases podcast. I'm your host, Michael Garaffa, alongside Nick Nath, Ryan Blank, and Marco Peralta. Thank you all for tuning on in.